Hello everyone. In one of the last of my videos, I was talking about how Arkency generates leads, which was basically a conversation around how Arkency uses content marketing. And I'm helping software companies more and more frequently nowadays, mostly the kind of companies where there are client projects involved. So it might be called like software houses or consulting agencies. Sometimes I'm also helping the product companies, but they have like a different setup internally. So it's a bit different in terms of how they work, but the problem around marketing is almost the same. So this video is a little bit of a rant. Maybe it's a constructive rant. I hope. I don't have a script how to follow this. And this is exactly my first and most important point. I really don't have any note here. I have no idea what I will talk to you about. I just want to help you to improve your content marketing. Whether you're a single developer who wants to build your personal brand, maybe you're a freelancer, maybe you run a software house, maybe you work for a software house, maybe you have your startup product, whatever. So your content marketing can be better. And I'm not saying that mine is best. Actually, I consider our marketing at Arkency not really good enough. But that's the whole point. I'm sitting, looking at you, talking to you almost as you're sitting with me, right? And if you ask me this question and we are having a beer right now, would I be perfect in explaining what I mean? Would my answer be structured? No. But for some reason, we assume and expect, maybe, usually from our own, not from the people outside, we expect that the blog posts, tweets, videos, emails, I don't know, even Instagram stories, that they have to be perfect because they are coming under our brand. And I'm representing the brand Arkency, and it's not just me, right? So there is 14 more people that I represent with this video, and this video is not perfect. It's far from being perfect. I'm not prepared because I was literally just reading a question again and again related to content marketing. And the problem is usually that companies, they are not able, or the single developers, they're not able to produce content. It's a weird name. I don't like the name produce content. It just means, share whatever you just learned today. Share what you learned 1 year ago. Just imagine you're sitting over a beer with your friend and they are asking, so how did you configure React? And obviously you can go into details or you can just, hand waving, but they will usually get the answer. You can show them like one piece of code, so that's something you can put on your blog post, or maybe you can show on your video, but you can go quite a lot just by waving hands. Obviously this will not be the type of detailed tutorials, but it will be something. And it will be something enough that many people will benefit from that. And I don't know, I've seen like so many companies with these blockers around perfectionism at different levels. So I've heard weird stories around CEOs or CTOs or C-level, people who need to approve whatever content gets out of the company, which is crazy. Like, what is this, like micromanagement to the hardcore level? So at least this means that somewhere in the company, maybe the developers, they're trying to publish a blog post, but then it's like forbidden. And I've heard, I don't know, at least 10 such stories. Another problem is the pressure between like the team. So someone in the team puts out some content, so maybe some blog posts, and other people think that it's not good enough. We shouldn't publish such simple things. And it's usually the simple things that actually gather most of the, likes, views, whatever matters in social media or in blogs or in emails and so on, because we are overestimating how much people know usually, and we are overestimating how people are interested. So that's the problem. Like, among the people in the company, there is something unhealthy. There's something wrong. There's something wrong when people are afraid to show it to the outside when they want. Because if they don't want, that's maybe a different problem. There might be other reasons too. But if the developers of the company, they want to share the knowledge, but somehow they don't, they are not allowed to do it, this is really wrong as to my evaluation of the situation. What are other problems here? Other problems can be that you are producing content, but you are giving up because there are no people reading this. And you clearly see at the analytics that there are no views, no shares, no retweets, no one even favors your tweet. Like no one is interested, right? So that's the conclusion. No one is interested in our content. We have such a wrong content that no one cares about it. And the problem here is that, once again, it's probably a symptom of perfectionism. So perfectionism, as you can see, is like my enemy because I'm fighting with this in myself, not so much, but among my colleagues and among the people that I'm trying to help with in other software companies. So the problem with perfectionism at the level of not getting views is that it's easy to get views if you have good marketing to the blog post. So blog post on its own is a marketing, but in order to get people to that blog post, you need to market this blog post, you need to advertise, you need to convince people why it's worth coming to the blog post. So it's actually several factors here. The blog post title, this is actually where I would spend more time than on the actual content, because it's really important that to be really precise and, convincing. Obviously, we are avoiding clickbaits to empty content, but you need to be convincing. Second thing, you need to have channels like, and this at the beginning may take some time, but there are places like, I don't know, Reddit, Ruby, for example, where you can post Ruby related article and they will it will bring you some traffic, so at least you can be there. Or even better, instead of posting on Reddit just the link, you can write a Reddit post, like the native post, and explain a story. What led you to write this blog post? What you think is there? Even you can also like copy and paste the whole blog post to Reddit, because the goal usually around content marketing is not only to get people to your website, but it's get people to get familiar with your branding, with you as a company or with you as a developer. So I made this mistake that I was like, okay, here is my blog post on my blog, and everywhere else I would just put a link. It worked 5 years ago. It doesn't work like that anymore. Nowadays, people live in those places. There are people who are kind of natives to Reddit, natives to Twitter, natives to Facebook. It's weird, but they are natives to Instagram. So you kind of need to get there and give them the content on their place. Yes, ideally you want the whole marketing funnel bullshit, but in the end you want this funnel that somehow you will get their email, you will get them to contact you. But at the beginning, you are not even getting those people to look at your website. So at least get their attention somewhere else. And all the social media platforms that exist nowadays, like I have a huge list of them, and I really want to appear in many of them, not all of them. It's impossible for such a small company as ours. But if we want to reach to those people, we need to reach to those people, right? Not just grab them and come here. You need to look at this website, that specific website. So there's like if you want to share a piece of knowledge nowadays, it's just fantastic opportunity. You have like 100 places, even just for developers, 100 places. If your company is about JavaScript and Angular, like 100 places, you can go there and share your knowledge, right? And only after you do it for some longer time, you can try to think, and once you will get their attention, that they will appreciate what you're doing, you will then find ways of getting them to your website, because it's about trust. They need to trust before you get them to your home, right? So there are problems at so many levels, and I'm not trying to show myself as the person who solved all the problems. Arkency is doing very well with the content marketing when we compare us to other companies or to other players in the market or to other developers maybe, but we could do like 100 more of that. But we also have the perfectionist problem in our company, in our team, but at least it's not at the level of what I see somewhere else. Again, I'm not trying to show how Arkency is great. It's just, we've had to solve those problems along the way. We've had to learn to respect other people's styles. My style is specific to some people. It's weird. Someone else's style of writing blog posts at Arkency, to me, is boring, but I clearly see that people are like enjoying this content. So it's actually great if we have like a very, diverse ways of presenting our knowledge. So sometimes it's me, sometimes it's Rafał, sometimes it was Robert in the past, sometimes it was Pavel. sometimes with Shimon. So we've had like a number of different ways of presenting. It's actually showed, you know, different faces of the company, because we are a company. There are different people here. So we learned how not to criticize each other. We learned to respect different styles of each other. We learned to respect that we learned that people have blockades, and in order to unblock, sometimes they need to publish a very simple, maybe too trivial blog post, but it's more part of the process, because their next blog post will get easier. Their first videos may be really, really bad, but the next videos might be much better. So sometimes it's just, you know, understanding that it will be like that not everything will be perfect. And I'm not a perfectionist, but I do sometimes judge, okay, this content was really bad quality, but this is only my opinion, and it's not me to be the, I don't know, guard of whatever is published under the brand of Arkency. And by the way, whenever I thought it's really bad, it was always more successful than I thought in the end. So I was always like totally wrong. So perfectionism is like the biggest problem, and at the level of marketing your blog post, you need to be kind of brave. And this is where I believe the marketing and sales skills of everyone are important. So it's not just one person in the company should produce content, but it should be more. We should maybe help each other, promoting each other's content, and learn how to write. It sounds weird, but when you wrote a blog post, you need to write kind of like an offer on Twitter why people should go and read this, because on Twitter you will not paste the whole thing. But it's nice to, for example, paste on Twitter just a screenshot of the most important part of the blog post, so that people will get there, or at least some points. So there are lots of creative ways, and my native place, for example, is Twitter. This is where if you want to get in front of my eyes somehow, the best chance is to do it via Twitter. I look at Reddit from time to time. I look at Facebook from time to time. I'm trying to learn Instagram. I'm getting better, but I don't feel this is my native place. This video is part of my current process of improving my video skills, my YouTube skills, to the level where I feel like unblocked and I can just sit like I'm sitting right now. And, I was triggered by another question about content marketing, and I'm recording this, so I feel like more comfortable doing this. And even if you look at my scene right now, right? So the camera that is used is actually a basic Apple monitor camera. The monitor is the Blue Yeti. So okay, that's more fancy. I agree. But I invested in this maybe, 5 months ago when we were producing the Rails Architect Masterclass. So there are, really nothing is awesome here. Probably tomorrow I'm going for a travel, and probably I will be recording from much worse place than even this place. So I think the one most important tip is that imagine you are explaining whatever usually with a blog post or with a video, you're trying to answer some problem. You're trying to shoot a problem. And imagine you are talking to a friend. Imagine you're talking to yourself from 7 days ago. Imagine this is over a beer. Imagine this is really not perfect. This is the lesson for me and for many of you probably. Internet doesn't make the whole relationship thing somehow more need to be more perfect than in the real life. Like for some reason we think that if we put it out there, because it will stay there forever, it needs to be like perfect. But it's just just the thing that instead of explaining this over a beer, you can record a video and just put it there. It's already like a value, right? And some people, it's now 14 minutes of the video, so good luck. Thank you for everyone who's watching it that far. Some people got bored of my videos after 1 minute, but they already unsubscribed. Or if you don't like my format of presenting, maybe you can consider unsubscribe from the Arkency YouTube channel. But maybe you want to wait for other formats, because I'm just experimenting with different styles right now. I started different series right now. So this is part of a series targeting developers and software companies with marketing parts. There were other videos in the past, so you can look at this topic overall. So by trying to make yourself better than you really are, you're creating this non-existing image of yourself. And that's the problem. And if it's a company, that's again a problem. So if you are trying to publish the blog post for like forever before you do it, it's like something that it wasn't naturally created in your company. You were kind of forced. It was like artificial process. So it's not really showing your real image. And then if the reason was to grab the attention of your clients and somehow you will convert them to be a client, they will learn at some point, and if they work with you day by day, they will see that it was bullshit. That the whole perfectionist presentation, image, blog post, video was just, for the sake of marketing. But internally, you're a different people, you're a different company. And I think we shouldn't be ashamed of who we are as a company. That's why I'm, trying to documenting what we do at Arkency, even if it's sometimes bad things, like maybe not perfect, not the best. There are some companies doing certain stuff much better than we do. So, but that's us. This video is not meant to convert anyone to become our client, but maybe someone watching this will say, okay, I trust this guy because it seems true, right? Because it is true on our side. So this is my advice to like every company where I go around content marketing. Usually look at their blog, Twitter, and they are usually like trying not to show like anything personal about them, not showing their faces. I'm not handsome, I'm not pretty, but I'm showing my face because I think it's important to show ourselves, right? Okay, enough of this rant. 16 minutes. If you got there, thank you very much. And leave a comment what is blocking you in the content marketing if it resonated with you. I want to learn if it was just my sample of 40 companies or if it's a bigger thing. So tell me how it looks like in your company, how it looks for yourself, how much marketing you're doing, and why you're not doing more marketing. And by marketing here, I mean content marketing, social media involvement, and so on. Thank you.